They've made themselves a little dust bath in the old veg bed location. Pepper's having a nice little roll around, aren't you, girl? Does that feel good? That's it, fluff it up. There you go. Oh, fluff it all over. You chickens are so funny. I think the last few days have been a bit tough here. We seem to have hit a lull in our energies. Yesterday was not a good day for me. Oh, Andy's going to make some noise. Woo. Love seeing my man hard at work. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, it's been a tough couple of days. Everyone's been a bit hormonal, and whilst some of us have learnt to control those hormones and recognise them, one little lady is still trying to get the hang of hers. So we're trying to deal with that. But yeah, it's just been a bit quiet for the last couple of days. We hit a lull. I think we just went into overdrive on getting these raised beds in the right place. Though we didn't really realise how much energy it sapped out of us. Even Andy has been feeling a bit low on energy. And then this morning, Andy had to disappear off first thing to go get all the groceries. And by the time we'd done the rounds of all the shops, it was lunchtime and nobody was in the mood to do schooling. So school's gone out the window. And then we've just had this saga now with the girls fighting with each other. But there we go. So the sun is shining, although it's not that cold. It's not that warm. And we're just sort of trying to do the best we can. So there's not much to show in today's video, really. Hello people, it's another day. So I think this has just been tagged on to, was it yesterday or the day before?
Yesterday. Yesterday's video, yeah.
There wasn't enough footage yesterday, so we've tagged it onto today. And we've had to wait until we have calmed down a little bit to be able to talk properly on a video, because we're currently quite livid with the school and the fact that they failed to, they made assumptions on how can I word it?
Well,
I don't know.
The children can do the work.
Yeah, assumptions on what homeschooling would be like that are totally false, and their expectations are totally outrageous. And not enough information was shared about what they expected to be done. Basically, the end result is that I assumed, because there was no information to say otherwise, that the work that we had been provided on Google Drive would last for the entire half term. Turns out it was only for 2 weeks. And in my opinion, that is an extremely large amount of work to accomplish in just 2 weeks. It would have meant every single day doing every single subject from 9 o'clock till 3 in the afternoon, solidly. And
because we're not teachers.
We don't know what they're expecting, so it takes time for us to read through the information, find the right methods and whatnot. And our children don't learn that way. You can't just bash them into... And in any case, at school it's not that much work in one sitting either, because they have morning break, lunch break, PE lessons, music lessons. The interchange between one subject and another takes about half an hour. And when you actually sit down... In fact, somebody did do it. They studied a school class, and they looked at the amount of physical sit-down actual learning hours, and it only equated to between 1.5 and 2 hours in the entire school day. So, you know, that's doable at home. 2 hours of work is fine. But to expect the children to do what would take my children 4 to 5 hours to do every single day was just outrageous, quite frankly. So anyway.
Well, what gets me is the expectation to be like a school at home.
Yeah.
What if I'm on furlough, and I get that, so I'm helping Emily do the schoolwork with the children, but what if I'm still working? They're expecting Emily to do 3 different children in 2 different work groups, 9 till 3 o'clock?
Yeah.
Never going to happen. Especially with the difference between the expectation of the children working with a teacher and working with their mother.
Yeah.
It's totally different, and it should have a totally different set of expectations.
I'm not going to turn our home into the strict school environment that schools have. Schools, don't get me wrong, schools are fun places to be at if you're lucky enough to have a good school. But there is an element of once you walk through that school gate, you're under school authority, you do what the teacher tells you, there are rules to follow, etc., etc. There is not that same environment at home. And at home there are a gazillion distractions for the children. You know, we can get up a bit later, we have lunch when we're hungry, they go out get a bit of fresh air when they're bored of sitting down. You know, there is not that same school mentality, nor should there be.
And we're not going to enforce that.
And we're not going to enforce that. And so we're just a bit angry at the school right now. Not to mention that one of the teachers took it upon themselves to rearrange the folders that I had set up to put in the children's schoolwork, and had deleted all of our photos and videos of my child's work and doing the work and explanations of the work, things that we were quite proud of. So when my child went and had a look at their folder, those pictures were gone, and they were quite upset. They felt like it wasn't good enough and it had been removed, you know, and that's quite demoralizing for a child. So and not only that, as Andy pointed out earlier, we are our children's teachers right now, not the teachers, unfortunately for them. We are the teachers, and we need our work set out in a way that is best suited for us. I appreciate the teachers have to go in and mark the work possibly afterwards, or just check through the work to see that we're doing it right. But at the end of the day, if my if my files are not organised to a way that I find conducive to good learning, I'm not going to be able to do my role properly. So anyway.
That being said,
yeah, rant over. Let's have a little garden update, shall we? Oh, windy, the wind's blowing. Alright, so yesterday Andy was sorting out the new roof for the chicken hut. Yeah. And now, if I go underneath, you'll see it's solid roof. It's even got guttering which just needs fixing off, finishing off even. And up above, it looks like this.
So, here we go. So we didn't have enough of these shingles to finish the roof off. But what I've done is put a bit of damp-proof membrane which is slipped underneath the observatory roof that rolls off, and it's got a slight slope all the way down to the guttering that end. So it should keep our chooks nice and dry.
Sweet, so there you go. Oops, sorry girls. So that's that. So, veggie beds, let's have a look at, because I know you've been planting something else in there today, so let's go have a look at what else is in the veg beds now. Alright, so there's still an awful lot in the greenhouse, Andy.
Yes, there is.
Are you sure you planted some stuff up?
But if you look at it, most of it is lots that aren't quite ready yet. I don't think they're quite the right size. These guys are pretty big, but the smaller ones that I planted up later aren't, I don't think. So I don't want to plant them out and then them struggle, so I'm keeping them in a nice and warm environment.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other stuff is tomatoes across the back there. So.
Uh-oh, was the grape covered up?
Not a grape leaf,
Grape's alright?
the grape just had a bit of cardboard on it.
We need to get rid of all that cardboard, really, don't we?
We do, yeah.
So, you've done more down here then?
So here's the last line of carrots. They seem to be surviving fine. I've put 2 more in, so we get a staggered carrot crop, hopefully. And I put 2 lines of beetroot in.
Oh, I thought it was radish pack I saw down there.
It is radish. I haven't put radish in.
Oh, I've jumped the gun.
And the only reason I've done that is because we've only now got this much and about this much of bed left. So we need to be careful what we're putting in where.
I've been telling you this for days now. You're teaching me to suck lemons here. So
yeah.
So what else? So you got the spring. I keep saying spring onions. I don't mean spring onions. I mean shallots. Ah.
Do you think we need more than 2 courgette plants?
For us right now, no. I think 2's fine.
Or we could get tubs once they're ready.
Yeah. Once we can find the tubs, we still want to get tubs. Yeah.
Be careful.
Oh my gosh, what's going on behind me?
Somebody's tucking themselves into a ladder.
Hello.
Hi.
You alright?
Yeah.
Esther laid an egg and Pepper's laid an egg.
Yeah. I thought Esther already laid today.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't realise you knew. Oh. Hey ho. You're getting so big. You're getting so big. Oh my, you're like an octopus or a squid that can actually just go and squeeze themselves into places. Look at that. Look at that. Alright, I digress. So yes, I think 2 courgettes is enough for now.
Yeah.
Have you actually got any more potted up?
Courgettes, yes, there's a couple in there.
Oh well, if we decide we don't need them, we can just put them up for sale on the summer and the driveway.
Yeah. Do something like a half barrel, maybe.
Yeah, nice half barrel over in the corner. That'd be nice.
Even...
A half barrel with what in it?
I don't know yet. I don't know. Squash.
Well, no, because the squash spreads just like courgette does. It needs flat land, really.
I know, but I'm going to train it up.
Ooh.
Like have a...
Sounds posh.
Squash.
Squash arc.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh. But I'm excited for the French beans. We always had great success with French beans, didn't we?
In the old house.
Aren't my lupins so pretty? They're just such a huge burst of colour. I love them. And it's got pink at the back that you can't quite see. Ooh. And Andy did actually manage to transplant some of these into the front garden, even though they were in full bloom, so that we could plant the grapevines in the back. So I'll go show you how good they look, because they've actually survived pretty well. Alright, so here they are. So I think it's done alright. It doesn't look dead yet. But there we go, so you managed to move a pink one. I'm not sure what that one over there is going to be. It hasn't flowered up yet. But yeah, so he's planted them right next to the apple tree. There's some other things growing. Oh, petunias, that's it. He planted petunias. That's what those green things are. Some more petunias down here. Oh, that's rich, isn't it? Andy's just said, I've made him feel guilty for being outside now. I'm always moaning to be fair, I'm always moaning at the fact that we never see Andy, regardless of the fact that he's on furlough and always at home, because he's always outside on one DIY project or another. And granted, the projects are for the whole family. It's just a shame that the children never want to be out with him. And Andy will go out in all weather. He does not care. And I'm not so willing. Don't smile, don't laugh. So, bless his heart, I'm out here holding his hand, basically, while he waters the plants. Well, there's only one hose. I'm just here filming you. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. Saying how good you look and how much I love you and how wonderful you are. What do I want? Can I have a pressure canner?
Okay.
Ah! It's on video, people. Andy just said I could have a pressure canner. That's it. It's on video. It's going to be on YouTube.
I didn't say when.
Oh, dang it. He found the loophole. Hi guys! Okay, this is probably like day 3 in one video.
Yeah.
We've just been taking lots of little bits. We haven't really done a great deal of project work over the last few days, have we?
No. You will notice, however, that I'm always drinking a cup of tea in these videos.
I haven't got mine. Mine's on the table getting cold. Hold on. Let's fix this. Let's remedy this. Hold on.
I'm back.
There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay, I'm back. Right.
Hold on.
It's good.
Alright, there we go. I'm ready to go. Okay, so
Oh, what are we doing?
I think the last snippet on this video was us moaning about school.
Yeah.
And having to play catch up now so that the kids are back on track. Since then, I did a bit of research on the internet and found some tools that I think will really help Joshua from Maths UC, which is probably well known to American homeschoolers and maybe slightly less known here in the UK. But it is now a UK curriculum, which is great. So I bought a box of their math tools because Joshua, like myself, and I think like you, we're quite visual learners.
I'm very, very visual.
Yeah, we're very, very visual, and Joshua's much the same. So to see blocks being added or taken away, or to have a sticky chart for fractions and decimals and stuff like that is going to be quite helpful, I think. So anyway, so that's on the way. So when that arrives, I'll let you guys know how it works for us. In the meantime, what else have we done? So this morning we've done an hour of maths.
Got up early.
Yes, so we just totally kicked ourselves in the butt yesterday. We told the kids no more extra long lie-ins, because like it's 10 to 10 right now. Yesterday at 10 to 10, we weren't even dressed and ready for the day. I think the kids had literally only just finished breakfast, hadn't they? So
Connie's been struggling. Connie's been finding that she's needed the extra lie-ins.
Yeah.
So we've given them to her because she's going through that early teenage stage.
Yeah.
But went a bit far.
Yes, because I think you can just let it slip into borderline laziness. And I know when I get hormonal that I am so drained of energy, it's really hard to function. So we totally understand where she's coming from, and we're willing to give her the extra time to just pick herself up, but she also has to start learning that despite the fatigue, she has to push on with the day. So this morning, everybody's alarms went off at 7:30. Joshua was actually up before then. Always. So that wasn't an issue for him. And by 9:30, we were done with our maths. So, which I thought was really good. They did good.
Yeah.
Abigail actually did more than Joshua and Connie. So they have a set of slides to work through. I think there's about 9, or certainly in Joshua's one, there was 9 slides in the set. I think Connie probably had about the same number.
Yeah.
Abigail, maybe a little bit more, but then her slides are quite easy at the moment. So it took them an hour to work through it. I do notice that they're still not fully engaged. Like Joshua has little moments where you can see he's just drifted off.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, head back in the game. Let's go. Let's focus. And sometimes you do have to sort of tap the table and say, come on, like 5 + 3, you should know this. Like it should be instant.
Some kids at this age, even at Abigail's age, will just sit and do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure. But we do have to re-engage them every now and again, which means that we can't really leave them to do it on their own because it will take twice as long, and they'll get demoralised with the amount of time it's taking.
So we are. I'm not even sure how we can get past that. We just have children.
Eventually.
We have kids that just need to be pushed. They know the work. They know how to do it. They just suddenly go slow mode. Like they'll stare at that number and they'll have a completely blank mind. And you just go, come on! And they go, whoa!
Certainly Abigail, this morning, she got to one slide and that was it. Yeah. She just didn't want to do it.
Brain meltdown. But anyway.
Just leave them alone.
We are getting through it. It's fine. We're on it. If we have to do an hour of maths every day to catch up, which I think we might have to.
Yeah.
At least for this week, we're just going to have to crack on with it. And they've done an hour of maths, so now they've had a break, they've bounced on the trampoline, they're just watching a little bit of TV, they'll have a snack, and then we'll get back onto English because we're behind in English now as well. They should have finished the newspaper project on the near miss between the boat and the lighthouse and stuff. So I have to say, I'm going to be so sad when they go back to school because I am so enjoying all of us sitting around the table.
It is nice.
It's
being
nice.
Together.
It is really nice.
But unfortunately, I have to work.
I know.
Please, can I work at some point?
Can we guarantee that he does not lose his job right now, please?
Yeah.
But yeah. But speaking of losing jobs and coronavirus, you just discovered something interesting. You were telling me.
Yeah. I noticed on the news yesterday there was an announcement that France said that they now believe their first coronavirus case was in late December, which is interesting.
Because that would have been before the outbreak in China.
No.
No?
Well, I think the outbreak in China, they believe, started in late November.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So that means that some people were still obviously travelling at that point.
Before they knew what it was.
And spread it a little bit more earlier than we thought.
But it's interesting because
we came down, I shouldn't say we.
Well, and your work colleagues were travelling back and forth from France at that time, weren't they? Because you were doing events over in wherever it was, in Paris.
I think it was. Anyway, we do events all over.
Yeah, they're global. So anyway, they had a bunch of guys going back and forth from France, which would have meant potentially coming into contact with the coronavirus unknowingly and then spreading it around the company.
Yeah.
And
when I came back from Christmas, found out, Christmas break, that a number of people, like myself, had been ill over the entirety of Christmas. And for me, 3 weeks being ill with something chesty is unheard of.
Andy was really ill over Christmas. So ill that we had to cancel going to Somerset because we were supposed to do Christmas with my family, but we couldn't risk bringing whatever this germ was and infecting my mother, who is undergoing chemo treatment for cancer. So Andy was really ill. Like you were exhausted.
I had a couple of days of fever.
Yeah, fever. You had to just stay lying in bed for a while.
And I had a cough. I had a cough for 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And now, some people will have had coronavirus and had mild symptoms. And if that was a mild symptom version of coronavirus, then I quite possibly could have had it.
Yeah, unknowingly. And we all became ill, which was something else that surprised us. It literally went around the family, which doesn't normally happen for us. We're normally quite a healthy family, so we were really surprised at Christmas that we were all getting sick.
Abigail came down with it as well, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, I think actually that Abigail got it first, but possibly. Abigail is asthmatic, so if Andy was a carrier of it and infected Abigail, she really struggled. She was ill for quite a while. And she actually had to be using her blue asthma pump for several days.
But it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it totally makes sense, because if it was coronavirus affecting her respiratory system, it totally makes sense that she was having mild asthma attacks and that we just didn't know was coronavirus at the time.
If it was.
If it was, well...
Yeah, we still don't know. I don't think
there's no way of knowing now, but anyway...
The only way you can is to have the test that discovers whether you have had it or not.
Yeah.
Whether you've got the antibodies for it.
Yeah. But then so Abigail fell ill, you fell really ill.
Yeah.
Connie and Josh. Well, I did.
Not
then
so
Connie
much.
and Josh. Well, we all got ill, but not to the extent that Andy and Abigail were.
No.
But we definitely all got sick over Christmas, and it lasted right through, I think, to the end of January.
Well, I started to worry about this because I still had it at the end of it when we went to see my parents at New Year's.
Yeah.
So.
But luckily they didn't. Yeah, they didn't catch anything.
No.
So.
No.
Well, not that we know of. They didn't tell us if they were ill. So.
No, but being in late 70s.
Yeah, they're elderly. So. But yeah, so I thought that was really interesting that actually the coronavirus could have been around a lot sooner than we all originally thought, and actually many of us may have already contracted it, dealt with it, and carried on, which is good to know.
Yeah.
So that's it for now. We're going to drag the kids off the TV, try and finish up some English. And if we haven't killed each other by then, it'll be lunchtime. So we'll probably see you after that. Bye for now.